Okay. Live on YouTube. Live on Instagram. Okay. Yes, live and yes, live. Hi, guys.
I think I'm going to start doing that.
Hi.
I hate texting.
You don't like texting?
No, I hate texting. I don't text people back.
I noticed. Thanks, John. I don't care. I don't mind at all. If it was something I needed to know, different story. Okay, I have to. Phone. Sorry, guys. Phone on Do Not Disturb.
We got to do that thing.
Okay, so today, guys, we need a block. Thank you, Charlie. We possibly need a strap. Maybe. We'll see if it comes up. Welcome YouTube, welcome Instagram. If anything happens on Instagram, go over to YouTube, which is, it's in my bio. It is also MJ Travers that you can search. So if you get lost or stuck, go over. We'll start in a minute. We've got Scott and Charlie. Not Owen. Hi. Okay. You don't need a mat. Just have a space where you can move. If anything doesn't make sense, you should not do it. If you have an injury, don't do it. If you modify for what you need, all right? If you haven't subscribed to YouTube yet, please. I think we're at 601 people now. Yep. Anyway, strap blocks. If you need a blanket, if you got sensitive knees. What else? Yeah, my brain is not here right now. We'll get there. Okay, I'm going to turn the I'm going to turn the comments off on Instagram. Instagram, if you need, go over to YouTube if you get stuck. Right. So we're going to start laying on our back today. Make sure that you have a block easy to grab. We'll be using it in a second. Have the soles of the feet flat to the ground, knees bent. My hand's sore. Oh. We did a decent bum workout the other day. A little bit of hamstrings. It's sore. Feels good. It's hard to sit down. Yeah. Okay. Feet flat, knees bent. Press the feet down as if the heels are coming straight out of the hip joint area. Get this started. The eyes closed, the arms might come out wide. Hands might be on the torso or back behind you. Make sure that the pelvis is somewhat even and start to press the feet down even as if you're standing steadily on them. Have the neck nice and long, but a nice neutral curve. You're not overly lifting the chin up or down. Listen to all the noises that are wherever you are. I'm not here for too long today, but it's a little bit more active than normal. So the feet press flat, almost like you're getting an even amount of pressure through the baby toe mound, the big toe mound, all around the heel bone so the feet are not rolled in or out. Take another full breath in. And a full breath out. Bring the arms down by your side. Press the triceps and palms down. Inhale, bridge pose with the pelvis up. And grab your block, put it under the back of the pelvis at the sacrum. Have it the medium or the flat side. And if this is way too intense what we're doing, you don't have to use whatever prop you have under the pelvis. So if you don't have blocks, you might use blankets or pillows or maybe cushions if you have any on your couch. Towels rolled up, you can stack them up. Bring the left knee towards the chest, interlace the fingers either at the shin or the hamstring. And then extend the right leg long and forwards down towards the ground in front of you. Point the right toes away from you. Option to pull the left knee in towards the left underarm. As you pull the knee in, it might pull the right leg up off the ground. Have the right heel either on the ground or hovering as close as it can. Again, if this is really uncomfortable at the sacrum or the low back, lower the prop down, or if you have accessibility, that is, or you have an option to remove it, maybe put something lower under you, or nothing at all. You might need to actively lengthen the low spine towards the back of the right heel. Left knee can be out to the side or in towards the center. So really think of stretching through the front right side. You might use the right hand to help with that, pressing the right hand on the right thigh, or reach the right arm back behind you, whichever one feels best for you. Take another 2 breaths here. An option to move the right leg, that might be further out to the right or further to the left. Maybe turning the right toes in or out. Take another full inhale breath. And let's swap it over. Release the left leg. Bring the right leg in. If you need to adjust the prop or anything, please do. So the right knee comes in. If you did interlace your fingers, take the awkward grip, means just swap the fingers over one space. Right knee pulls in, left leg extends forwards. So you might point the toes a little further, maybe pull the right leg up. Notice how it might lift the left heel again off the ground. Same thing, if this is way too high and uncomfortable for the body on this side, please change it. Lower the prop down, take it out altogether, or be a little bit more active with the low back. Continue to point the left toes away from the left knee. Maybe pull the right knee further out to the right underarm. You might feel a greater stretch through the groin. The same thing, you have an option with the left hand to press on top of the left thigh, or maybe reach the left arm further back behind you. Either of them feel good, just bring the hands back to the leg again. Continue to breathe into the front left side. Take another full breath in. And the exhale, slowly release. Press the feet flat to the ground, about a hip width position. Inhale for bridge pose with the hips up. Keep the hips lifted, remove the prop to the side. So wrap the outer hips up, so the quad should be working here. Lengthen the low back towards the back of the heels. Press the triceps down, maybe roll the shoulder heads back behind you. Make sure the upper neck is not compressed at the chin. If necessary, you can always put something under the head as well, like a blanket or towel. Press down into the big toe mound, the baby toe mound, the entire round of the heel bone. Feel that connection into the mat or the ground. We'll take another full inhale breath. And then slowly articulate the spine back down to the ground. Bring the knees into the chest, pull them wide. So this is like a passive happy baby. Knees towards the underarms. You can just hold the front of the shins or the back of the knees. Press the pelvis forwards and down, and then start to pull the spine back along the mat away from the pelvis. You can either stay still or gently rock side to side. And then hug the knees back into the chest. Take a little rock side to side here. And then bring yourself up to a seated position. So however it's easy for you to come up to a seat and rock to the side and push yourself up. You can rock backwards and forwards. You need to sit up on props. So if your pelvis tips back when you sit up on something so it's less gripping at the hip flexors. Flex the toes in. And just doing a little bit of work with our wrists. Bring your right elbow into your right hip point and have the right palm forwards face up. So the fingers are facing past the direction of the right knee. With your left hand, grab around the right wrist. So So your hand is here, so it stops the wrist, or excuse me, the arm bone from rolling in and out. So we're going to try and lock it in. So think of minimizing the movement to just the wrist and the hand moving. So with the hand nice and straight, try and keep it as straight as you possibly can. Flex the fingers down towards the legs. Now from here, with the fingers down, move them over to the left-hand side towards the baby finger, and then start to bring the fingers to point straight up towards the sky, and then over towards the right side towards the thumb. Make sure that, again, the arm bone's not turning. Bring the fingers down to the right, and then down through the center to the left, like you're tracing a line on a box. Fingers up to the left, and then over to the right, down to the right, through the bottom to the left. Now we're going to reverse that. Let's go to the right, up to the right, so pull the fingers back towards you, up to the left, down to the left, down to the right, up to the right, over to the left, down to the left. Last little line, over to the right. Oh, yeah. That's tough for me. So if you need more movement, more stability, more strength, anything in your wrists, that's a really good thing to do every single day. Let's do it with the left side. So bring the left elbow into the left hip, so it's locking it in. Right hand comes around the forearm. So again, this is minimizing the movement. Have the palm and the fingers nice and flat, and then flex the fingers down towards the ground. So think of moving from the heel of the hand. And then we'll move over to the right side first. So over towards the baby finger. And now start to pull the fingers straight up towards the sky, over to the right. And then move them over to the left. Down through the left to the bottom left. Through the bottom to the bottom right. Up through the top right. Over to the top left. Down to the bottom left. Last line with this, over to the bottom right. I'm going to go back the other way. Over to the bottom left. Up to the top left. Keep the hips pressing down. Over to the top right. Down to the bottom right. Over to the bottom left. Up to the top left. Over to the top right. Down to the bottom right. Last little line, over to the bottom left, and release, roll the wrist, roll the arm, move the arm. Whew. We're going to do that with the ankles as well. Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to turn to the side. You can hopefully see. If you need to sit up on a chair for this, please do. Have the bottom leg either bent, so you can really get a good grip on the right leg. We want to lock out the bottom leg bone. So we'll bring it in towards the chest. You can start with the right leg. Bring it in towards the chest. Bring the right forearm around the shin. Now you'll bring the right hand onto your left tricep. Bend your left elbow. You'll either lock it over to the right shoulder or bring it up towards the left shoulder. Just trying to keep your right shin bone nice and still. Okay. Flex the toes up towards you. We'll move out to the right towards the baby toes. Toes down towards the ground, and only go as far as you're not in pain. Never go into pain. Over to the bottom left. Up to the top. Over to the right. Down to the right. Bottom left. Do one more full square or circle, whatever shape it is that you're drawing. Up to the top right. Bottom right, bottom left. Let's reverse it. Bottom right, top left, bottom left. Move a little slower. Bottom right, top left, bottom left, bottom right, and then release. Okay, let's do the other side. So, again, if you need to sit up on a chair or sit on the couch or whatever you have around you, right leg can be bent towards you so you can be a little more stable. Bring the left leg in. Try and bring it in as close as you can and bring the forearm around the shin. Hold the right bicep with your left hand. Bend the right elbow, bring the right hand either to the right shoulder, left shoulder, or wherever you can lock it off. It can just be in space if that works for you. Flex the left toes, left foot towards the shin. Let's move over to the left side. Toes to the left. Start to point the toes down to the left. Point them over to the right. Pull them up to the top right. Over to the top left. Down to the bottom left. Over to the bottom right. Up to the top right. Over to the top left. Down to the bottom left. Over to the bottom right. Let's reverse. Over to the bottom left. Up to the top left. Over to the top right. Down to the bottom right. Bottom left, nice and slow. Top left. Top right. Bottom right. Over to the bottom left. And that's it. Okay, let's come into a tabletop position, hands and knees. Hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. We're going to start to move just a little bit. Inhale for cow pose. Lift the chest up, spread the collarbones. Exhale, dome for cat pose. Round the spine. You can always come onto the fingertips if that feels better for your body. Inhale for cow. Again, lift the chest, spread the collarbones, lift the hamstrings. Exhale as you roll up the spine, cat pose. Inhale for cow pose. Tuck the toes, lift the chest. Keep the tailbone tilted up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adding on, lift the hips up and back. Keep the feet where they are though. Inhale, lower the knees, tabletop. Take your time. Exhale, roll up the spine, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Keep the toes tucked. Lift the back of the tailbone up. Collarbones wide, chest full. Keep the tailbone tilted up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pull the hips up and back. Inhale, lower the knees, tabletop position. Exhale as you round for cat pose. Do that again. Inhale, pull the breastplate through the biceps, shoulder heads back. Keep the toes tucked. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees for tabletop. Exhale, round for cat pose. Let's come to a neutral spine. Grab the blocks. Place the hands on the blocks. So we're just going to include the blocks with that little vinyasa and then move on from there. We'll take it a couple more times. If you need to place the heel of the hands, hook the heel of the hands over the blocks. If you need a little bit more support, please do. Inhale, cow, keep the toes tucked. Exhale, downward dog, slide the hip rims back. Inhale, lower the knees, tabletop. Exhale, round cat. Inhale, cow, lift the chest, collarbones wide. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, knees to the ground, tabletop. Exhale, round for cat. We'll do one last time. Inhale, cow. Lengthen the front of the spine, forwards and up. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, knees to the ground, nice and slow, find control. Exhale, round cat pose. Let's bring our knees wide, hips back to heels, hands stay on the blocks. You might bring the blocks a little bit closer in towards you. We did a little bit of this on Monday as well. So from here, turn the palms face up towards the sky. And if this is way too much for you, remove the blocks altogether, hands on the ground. Palms will face up. You'll either stay here or you'll bend the elbows and bring the hands either to the back of the neck with the fingertips touching, puffing the hands up, or bring the fingers onto the top of the back of the shoulders. Walk the elbows in and forwards if you have the elbows bent. And start to pull the chest forwards and the hips back. You start to deepen the breath so the stomach pushes out to the inner thighs as you inhale. And the hips get nice and heavy towards the heels as you exhale. Keep walking the elbows in and forwards. Broaden the upper back and pull the collarbones out towards the underarms. Take one more full breath in. And exhale, slowly release the hands down. Bring the blocks forwards again. Press the palms into the blocks. If you don't have the blocks, that's fine. You can do this on the ground. Press the hands down. Keep the hips down. You need to have the knees or the hips support the body, but try and keep your chest down as much as you can. Just move from the shoulders. As you press down into the hands, get nice and heavy into the hips. Pull the chest a little further forwards. Keep the left hand pressing. Can you lift the right arm off the block? Good. Right hand down. Press the right hand down. Lift the left hand up. Left hand down. One more time. Right hand lifts. Right hand down. Press hard with the right hand. Left hand lifts. Left hand down. Now bring the hands outside of the blocks. Lift the right hand up over the block and place it inside the block. Lift the right hand up, place it outside of the block. Left side, left hand lifts, lift it over, down to the inside. Left hand lifts up, over, down to the outside. One more time each side. Right hand lifts up, hover over the block, lower the hand down. Right hand lifts to the outside, press it down. Left hand lifts, inside, lower. Left hand lifts, outside, lower. Whew. Bring yourself up to a tabletop position. Blocks can go to the side. Whew. Are your shoulders awake?
Yeah, are you allowed to have your head on the ground? Or... Go ahead. Oh.
Shoulders from yesterday.
Good, that's what you guys did. I worked out shoulders yesterday. Hands on the ground. Tuck the toes. Inhale, cow, back to that little vinyasa. Exhale, downward dog, except we're staying in down dog. Extend the feet back a little further. And then move the pelvis around just a little. Bend the knees if that feels comfortable. Lift the legs. Open the hip. Take another full breath in. And a full breath out. Start to broaden the upper back. Push the hips back from the thighs, so really turning on the quads. We'll inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the right knee towards the right tricep. Inhale, right knee towards left tricep. Bring the leg across the body, lower the foot down, right foot over to the left side. Pivot the left heel down, inhale, fallen star, left arm up to the sky. Push into the outer right foot, inner left foot. Exhale, left hand back down. Keep the right foot where it is. Slide the right foot back, so it's like a cross-leg down dog. Keep the right toes pointing in the direction towards the fingers and push the hips back. Left toe still point forward. So Charlie, pivot the left foot to point forwards. Yeah. Flex the right toes towards the shin, pull the right hip back. Inhale, lift the right leg back up to the sky. And exhale, step the right foot outside the right wrist, lower the back knee. Inhale, cow, lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Come to a neutral spine, option to come down onto the forearms, option to bring the hands onto blocks or maybe walk the hands forwards in front of you. Just make sure that the heel bone's just in front of the right knee. Right want to stay still here or move. You always have an option to lift the left knee off the ground, either tucking or untucking the left toes. Take a full breath in, a full breath out. You may need a strap for this. If you don't have a strap, you could use a t-shirt, whatever works. Come up onto the left palm. Option to put a block under the left hand. Right hand lifts up to the sky. Reach the right hand back. Let's take a quad stretch. Grab the baby toe side of the foot. Pull the foot in towards the glute. Kick the foot back. Find a little bit of tug of war between the arm and the leg. Start to let the pelvis move slightly forwards. You're on the front of the left knee. So if you are using a strap, you're hooking it around the foot, you're pulling it as close as you can. Take another full breath in. And then slowly release the foot down. Hand down inside the right foot. Lift the back knee. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg comes up. This time, open the hip, bend the knee. You might stay here. You might take some big circles with the right leg. You might flip it all the way. So bringing the right foot over to the left side of the mat. Pressing the hips up, coming into a flip dog. It's actually a wild thing with the feet staggered. Flip dog would be feet coming parallel to one another. And then slowly make your way back to a downward facing dog. Take a full inhale. Pull the hips just a little further back on the exhale. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee to left tricep, shift forwards. Stay forwards, left knee to right tricep. Extend the leg out, lower the outside of the foot down. Pivot the inside of the right heel down, press the hips up, reach the arms back, pull the left shoulder back. Fallen star. Take a full inhale. Option to keep the right hand on the ground. We'll bring the right hand back. So keep the legs where they are. I'm just going to turn the right toes forwards, slide the left leg back. Keep the left toes pointed in the same direction as the mat, forwards towards the fingers. Pull the hips back. So it's like a cross-leg down dog. Hopefully you feel this in the outside of the left leg. Start to pull the baby toe side of the foot towards the face and wrap the left hip back. Inhale, breath. Good, push the right hip back. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step the left foot outside of the left wrist. Lower the back knee. Option to tuck on, tuck the back toes. Inhale, cow of the spine, chest lifts up. Exhale, cat of the spine. Pull the chest forwards, pubic bone forwards, chest into the legs. Come to a neutral spine again. Stay here, come to the forearms, move the arms forwards, use blocks, whatever props you need. You might take movement, so this is a little more passive. You might bring it active by lifting the back knee, whether untucking or tucking the back toes. And breathe. Nice and deep. Down into the very low abdomen. Take another full breath in. Exhale, come up onto the right palm. Again, the same option to put a block under the right hand. Inhale, left arm to the sky, back knee is on the ground. Exhale, right hand reaches back. Lift the left hand reaches back. Lift the right foot. Grab the baby toe side and start to pull the foot in towards the glute. Keep the foot back. Put a block under your hand. Cramps are fun, aren't they? Use the block. Couple more breaths. Breathe the pelvis comes a little further forwards. One more inhale. And then very slowly release the foot to the ground. Bring the hand to the inside of the left foot. Both hands press. Lift the back knee. Three-legged dog on the inhale. Left leg lifts up. And now let's bend the left knee. Reach the foot towards the right glute. You'll either stay here or maybe start to slowly pivot. Left hand might lift off the ground. Left foot might come to the right side of the mat for flip dog or wild thing. Press into the outer right foot, the left heel, shoulders pull back, and then slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. Pull the hips back, down dog. Take a full inhale, full exhale. Good. Inhale, slide forwards to a high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. And tuck the toes, press the toenails down into the ground. Hands are either under the shoulders or further back under the elbows. Forehead is down. Roll the shoulder heads onto the back of the body. Pull the elbows back towards one another. And press all 10 toes down so the kneecaps lift. And lengthen the tailbone to the back of the heels. Keep the inner thighs rolling up to the sky. And inhale, baby cobra, Bhujangasana A. Pull the chest forwards, keep the chin down into the throat. Shoulders pull back. Good. Think of the chest pulling forwards and up, using the upper back. Keep the chin pulling all the way down. Now pull the elbows back behind you, look down towards the ground. Yeah. Take another full inhale, pull your head forwards away from the glutes. Lengthen your bum back to the heels. Exhale, lower back down. Tuck the toes. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Again, shoulders set onto the back of the body. Press the heels back and suck your navel off the ground. In the straightest line as possible, push yourself up to a high plank position. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg straight up to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot just outside the right wrist. This time, pivot the back heel down. You might need to bring the hands onto blocks so the feet are still at a hip width position. Left toes point forwards towards the top left corner of the mat, about 45 degrees. Come up onto the fingertips so the stomach is off the front thigh. Now wrap the right hip back, pulling the hamstring back towards the left thigh as you roll the inner left thigh back. Reach the arms forwards and up, coming up to your warrior one. Any compression, you'll lean the upper body slightly forwards. We want more of a neutral spine, so less back bend, more neutral. Ribs pull in towards the back of the body. So again, if you need to lean forwards, please do. Keep the right knee pointed over the right toe. Pull the right hip back. Push the left foot, the outer foot into the mat. Take a full inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg lifts up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot outside the left wrist. And then pivot the back heel down again. So again, the feet are in a hip width position. Bring the blocks either side of the front foot. Come up onto your fingertips and start to pull the outer left hip back. Now notice if the knee bows out. Keep the left knee pointed forward, but we're still sliding the left hamstring back. Press the outer right foot into the mat. Move from the pelvis, inhale as you lift up to your warrior one. This side might be a little more comfortable. So for me, I have less compression, so I can lift my torso up a little higher. So we keep the left knee pointed forward, press the outer right foot down. Wrap the inner right thigh back, pull the outer left hip back. Take a full inhale breath. Exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg lifts up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot through, set the feet hip width. Inhale, let's come up to our warrior one. Exhale, hands to the ground. Inhale, right leg high. We have that option to flip it again, flip dog or wild thing. We'll be here for 3. Meet back in down dog in 2. 1, exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Step the left foot through, feet hip width. Inhale, warrior one, straight back leg, bent front knee. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg lifts. And again, you can flip it, flip dog, wild thing, or just stay. We'll meet back in 3, in 2, in 1. Exhale, down dog. Take a full breath in. Let's come down to child's pose on the exhale. Knees wide, hips back to heels, hands on blocks or on the ground. Support the body under the knees, the hips, the chest or the forehead, the hands. So we played with this, I think, yesterday. So spider fingers is just coming onto the fingertips with everything else staying. So I want you to think, like when you were lifting the hands up and over, use the shoulders and the upper back, your baby cobra. Inhale, spider fingers. Exhale, palms flat. Inhale, spider fingers. Keep the chest pulling forwards and down. Exhale, palms flat. Again, inhale, spider fingers. Exhale, palms flat. Inhale, spider fingers, last one. Exhale, palms flat down. Inhale, let's come up to a tabletop position. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forwards. You're going to slowly walk to the top of the mat, but if you can, you need to watch me. Please do think strike, heel, ball, then toes. If you need to come up onto your fingertips or put props under your hands, please do heel, ball, toes. Little steps, heel, ball, toes. Heel, ball, toes. All the way to the top of the mat. Let's take a ragdoll. Option to bind your arms, grab opposite elbows. Head and shoulders hang. The weight's forward, so bend your knees as much as you need for your stomach to rest. Now let's take the awkward bind. So the opposite forearm or fingers on top. Release the hands down. Keep the knees bent and take about 3-ish breaths to roll the spine up. So with the knees bent, think of dropping the pelvis back behind you, starting to stack each vertebrae on top of the other until you come up fully. Head, chin will rise last. Inhale, arms lift up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti to hip. Take a couple of Ardha Surya Namaskar A, half sun A's. Inhale, arms lift up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, tip the torso out and down as you lift the hamstrings up. Inhale, lift halfway. Fingers can come onto the shins or the ground. Pull the chest away from the glutes. Hamstrings again, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Stand tall. Exhale, fold forwards and down. Tip out to fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Lengthen the spine. Press into the toes, the big toe mount. Exhale, forward fold. One last time. Flat on. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart. Inhale, arms lift straight up to the sky. Let's bring the left hand down, reach the right arm over, push the hips as far as they can go to the right. You might want to step your left foot across onto the opposite side. Ooh, my bad. You might want to step the right foot across onto the opposite side of the left foot. Keep reaching the right arm all the way over. Lengthen your bum down towards the heels. Take another breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, lift back up to the center. take it over to the right. Right hand down, left arm over. Again, you can stay right here. You can step your left foot over to the right side of the right foot. Tailbone down towards the heels. Again, another full breath. Full exhale. Inhale, arms lift straight back up. Exhale, fold forwards and down. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen the front of the spine a bit, like cow. Exhale, let's come to a squat and curl, little tiny ball. So round the spine forwards, press the toes down, bring the forehead into the knees, and think of pushing the shin bones forwards and up. Balance, or maybe balance closing the eyes, or bring the forearms around the shins. Two more breaths. One more full inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low lunge. Step the left foot back. Pivot the heel down. So like before, inhale, warrior one, except we're just coming from the top of the mat. And now exhale, warrior two. Let's adjust the feet as you need. Extend the left leg a little further back. Right knee's bent. Left toes are turned in. Pull the front of the pelvis up and pull the right hamstring back. So, like that. Yeah. Like this. Let's everyone bring our hands to our hips. Push your thumbs back and down so you pull the frontal hip points up without leaning backwards. Pull the front of the ribs into the back of the body. Now push the left leg back, reach the arms back out. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the ground. Let's come down to a Skandasana. Turn the right toes in. Bring your bum down towards the right calf. Option to lift the left toes off the ground. If you need to bring the right heel up, please do. The words are showing. Hands can be on the ground, the blocks, or maybe flying the arms. Your right arm will hopefully be on the inside of the right shin. Left arm up to the sky. Take another full breath in. Keep pulling the left thigh into the pelvis. Exhale, low lunge. Bring the hands to frame the right foot. Lean forwards, inhale, standing splits. Lift the left leg off the ground. And exhale, bend the left knee into the chest. Heel, ball, toe, foot down. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, low lunge. Right foot steps back. Again, we set our legs up for that warrior one. Heel, hip width with the heels. Inhale, warrior one, Vera one. Lift up, straight back leg, bent front knee. Exhale, warrior two. Again, adjust the feet as necessary. Right toes angled in, left toes point forwards. Notice the pelvis. Let's bring our hands onto our hips again. I want you to pull the front of the hips up so you're lengthening the tailbone down. That might mean that you have to work a little harder, pressing the right thigh bone in towards the top of the right hip, the front of the right hip. Keep wrapping the outer left hip back, arms reach out. Take a full breath in. Good, pull the ribs into the back of the body, full breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior, left arm reaches up, straight back leg. Exhale, hands towards the left foot. Let's come into Skandasana. Turn the left toes in slightly, right toes out. Bring your bum down towards the left heel or left calf. You might be on the left toes or the heel on the ground. Same option, hands on the ground, hands on blocks, maybe flying the arms. If the right toes are lifted off the ground, start to pull them in towards you and pull the right thigh in towards the pelvis. If you are extending the arms, left arm will be on the inside of the left thigh. Take another full breath in. Exhale, low lunge, pivot to the left. Pull the left hip back, inhale, standing splits. Lift the right foot up to the sky, left hip pulls back. Bend the right knee into the chest and bring the heel and toes down to the ground. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, squat and curl. Again, the option to balance. If you prefer into a crow pose, or maybe you want to use the blocks. Hands on the blocks. Bring the knees up into the triceps. As you tip forwards, you'll lift the feet up off the ground. Another option, actually, I'm going to offer this to you guys, is coming into a baby crow. Baby crow, arms on the ground. Not for a little bit. So actually, let's do this. Let's everyone come into garland pose. Big toes come together. And the knees are out wide. So it's kind of like a squatting child's pose in a way. Try and bring the heels to the ground, and then that cat pose and the spider fingers. Bring the hands forwards. So think of rounding as much as you can. We attempt to get our heels to the ground. Stop. If the heels are to the ground, maybe you bring the forehead to the ground. If you have a bind, you might bring the arms back behind you, pressing the back of the palms to the ground. So the triceps will press on the inner shins. Maybe the fingers come towards the outer hips. And now from here, you can stay. Again, if this is not okay, squat and curl or forward fold. But from here, you might want to move into a baby crow. So think knees towards the underarms, hands on the ground, forearms on the ground, tip forwards, look forwards in front of the fingertips, and then squeeze the elbows, the triceps in, the feet might lift off the ground. So you need space to come into such a tiny little area. Fun, a little bit of playtime. Make sure you're looking forwards. Can you bring your head up, Scott? It's always fun. Give it another go. Go on. You too. No?
No.
No. It's intense.
Kind of tight.
It is. Tight little area, isn't it? Okay. Let's come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. We're going to flow once more, just through that little flow. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low lunge, left foot back. Heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Right knee bend. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm up to the sky. Exhale, Skandasana down to the right. We're here for an inhale. Exhale, low lunge to the right. Pull the right hip back. Inhale, standing splits. Left foot lifts. Try and square the hips to the ground. Exhale, pull the left knee into the chest. Foot down, side by side. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, low lunge. Right foot back. Feet hip width. Heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, Skandasana to the left. Again, we're here for an inhale breath. Exhale, low lunge, pivot left. Start to pull the left outer hip back. Inhale, standing splits. Exhale, pull the knee into the chest. Forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, squat and curl. Let's come down again to a little wall. Tiny little wall. Last chance to balance. Last chance to play with forearm. Baby crow. Baby crow, crow, flying frog, whatever it is that you're balancing with. Let's bring ourselves to a seat when you're ready. Feel all right? Good. Okay, let's come down onto our back. Soles of the feet flat. So again, working with the back bends, we'll have a chance to go up into wheel. If you have a strong Vinyasa practice, go for it each time. That little drill that we were doing with the hands earlier this week, we'll be playing with that again. So you don't have to do that. You can go straight up if it works for you, if you know your body. But otherwise, maybe you'll just work into the drill with arms, coordinating the legs, coordinating the back bend of bridge. Inhale, first of all, let's come up to bridge pose. Lift the hips. Outer hips wrap up again. Exhale, articulate the spine back down. Again, inhale, pelvis and spine articulates up. Press down evenly to the feet. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Notice what your neck does as you move up and down. Make sure the weight's on the skull. Inhale again, bridge pose. Exhale, slowly lower down. We'll add the arms. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. Lift the hips, palms face up. Again, like you're raising the roof. Exhale, bend the elbows. Bring the hands next to the shoulders. Elbows hug into the head, like our child's pose earlier. Keep the hips lifted, inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, lower the spine and the arms back down to the ground. You can keep doing that if that works for you. Inhale, hips and arms lift up. Fingers point back. Exhale, bend the elbows. Keep the hips lifted, hands next to the shoulders. Fingers point to the shoulder heads. Elbows in. Inhale, arms to the sky. Slowly lower hands and hips down. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms lift up. This time we'll have an option for full wheel. Either stay here or bend the elbows. Bring the hands next to the ears. Elbows pull in. Press into the feet. Option to lift up. And then tuck the chin into the chest. Bring the back of the head down. Shoulders down. Arms up. And then all the way forwards and down. You good? Yeah. Take a breath and we're going to go into it again. The good thing, especially if you have long hair, just be careful that your hands are not pressing on it. Make sure that your hands are stable. If you need to come up against a wall and put your hands onto the blocks, that is an option. So if you don't have enough flexion in your wrist, you might put the heel of the hand, so a block behind you, imagine there's a wall there. You might put the hand holding onto the block to then lift up, if that makes sense, hopefully. There's no wall here, so I can't really show you. Again, if none of this works, just keep doing bridge with or without the arms. Let's go for it again. Inhale, hips and arms lift up. Either stay here or bend the elbows, hands next to the ears, elbows hug in. Either stay here or press into the hands, lift up. And you can stay or you'll come back down. Chin, come up to the back of the skull, shoulders, lower down. You're welcome to continue to play with that. Otherwise, walk the feet wide and let the knees sway side to side. It feels good. You can let the knees stay on one side a little longer. Arms might be back behind you to really help increase any sensation of a nice stretch that you might feel down the front side of the body. A couple more breaths here. Make sure that you feel even. Bring the legs back to the center. Lift your feet straight up to the sky. Make sure that the pelvis and the sacrum stays down. The feet will either be hip width or together. Now from here, bring your hands around your hamstrings, the back of the legs. Try and have your heels on top of your hips. So the legs are not on top of the face or they're not further away. If you need to put the strap around your legs, you can grab the strap there. Flex the toes into your face. So we're going to create some resistance, pulling back with the arms. At the same time, push the legs away from you. Keep the shoulders and the head on the ground. So try and push the legs forwards as you pull back. Keep the collarbones wide. Press the pelvis down, flex the toes into the face, push the heels up to the sky. Keep pulling back with the arms, pushing forwards with the legs. One more full inhale. And then hug the knees into the chest. Bring the forehead up into the knees. Make yourself the tiniest, smallest, tiniest little ball that you possibly can. We now release into our resting pose of Shavasana. So option here, put blocks under the back of the knees. If you have a bolster, you can put the bolster under the legs, under the pelvis, under the spine. If you have a blanket, you might want to put it over the abdomen, over the upper thighs. Arms can be wide on the body, back behind. Hand towel or maybe an eye pillow over the eyes. As you now close the eyes, let your body fully surrender. If you were undertaking any breath, just be a nice, natural, shallow breath now. Let your body sink down. Think of the breath melting away in the areas of tension and tightness, in the areas that you're holding on. Let it go. Give yourself the permission to let it go. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. Let this be where your focus, where your energy is. It doesn't have to be sharp, it can be fuzzy, hazy. Let it be here. Shavasana is the most comfortable place where you are. Let it be so comfortable that you could almost fall asleep. You can relax completely and fully. It just feels like you're home, in the right place. I highly suggest staying right here. If you do need to get going with the rest of your evening or whatever time of day it is you're watching this, start to deepen your breath and move your body. Maybe you stretch out, bring the legs in, or roll onto a side that's comfortable. And however you would like to get there, bring yourself to a seat. Sit on props, eyes open, eyes closed, hands on the legs, lap, heart. I'd like you to thank yourself, whatever way works for you, your own silent internal way, for really showing up for yourself, for doing what you need to do, for using what you can out of this class to your advantage. Take it into the rest of your day. Use it. Do it. We didn't create it or build it or realize it for no reason at all. So take advantage of that. Bring the hands down through prayer. Thumbs come to the third eye. Profound gratitude. I am grateful for every single one of you. Thank you so much. Namaste. Have an awesome night, guys. I have to stop Instagram because we're nearly at the hour. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, if you haven't gone over to YouTube, please go subscribe. MJ Travers. Find me there. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Mwah. And YouTube, love you guys. Thank you. Share this. Thumbs up if you can. Yeah.